All right, look, this is what we're going to do. We got to look at this. Okay, the brain. See, when we're looking at the brain, we're not taught about some serious stuff like the pineal gland, the pituitary body, because they're very important. They're very important. Okay, the mineral salts within our body. We have 12 systems of the body. This is the nervous system. We have 12 mineral salts. Potassium phosphate being they say the main one, that has to do with the gray matter and the pia matter that's within the claustrum, that's within the brain. It's made up of potassium phosphate. And when we're deficient of that mineral salt, because what happens in the claustrum, this material, when it comes out, it's going to branch off into the pineal gland and to the pituitary. And then as it does, it's going to come down. And what it is these, you've got positive and negative, male, female, electric, magnetic. Okay? The pineal gland is a yellow-like substance, and the pituitary is like a white substance within our bodies, within our anatomies. So when we're looking at it as like electric, magnetic, then we start to get a better understanding of something, because also too it talks about springtime, and it talks about a spiritual electricity which charges not only the earth but all of us who are able to understand these salts running through us. It says each human being is a battery, an aggregation of cells, and the law governing its charging is exactly the same as that with which electricians are familiar. It must have the necessary material to attract electricity, the proper kind and the right quantity. The knowledge of these cell salts, Schussler's Biochemistry, and it's an old book about cell salts, mineral salts. But what it's saying is this, is when our brain is malnourished and the fluids within us, because see, these two fluids, when they come out of the claustrum, the cerebrum, they come in, they branch off and go into here. Then there's the optic thalamus that's in our brain. The optic thalamus is Orion. They say this is the Pleiades as well. The Pleiades is fixing to be here because of the seasons. The sweet influences of the Pleiades, it's in Scripture. And then as it's coming down, it's going to cross, but it's going to be it's going to go across the medulla oblongata. It's going to go through the cerebellum, the vagus nerve, the pneumogastric nerve, because it's a cerebrospinal system that's created first as a baby, and then it starts branching out. And all this stuff, this fluid comes down the spinal column right here. And then in the solar plexus, when we're 12 years old, there's a little psychophysical seed that develops. The same way that an embryo develops, you have a seed within your solar plexus between T1 and T12 on the vertebrae. Okay? Because see, these branch off and they go, and all your organs here work together. They work together because they're electric, because of this. See, this is connected to the sun, and this is connected to the moon. So, and when you understand that those luminaries are connected to us, and you start paying attention, then you can understand a little better why you're disconnected and why you were pushed with such a horrible eating habit at such a young age. A lot of people have diabetes, and it's just they on television, just normal AIDS, cancer, children's cancer. It's a big business. Death and ignorance is a big business, because if we get real serious about this, this is something that we should already know. We should know this. We should know all of it. But the more that we don't know this, the more that we get away from it. And see, and one of the things that it's talking about within our, see, and look, all these organs right here, your pancreas, your adrenal gland, your stomach, your liver, gallbladder, your large intestine, small intestine, spleen, heart, lungs, salivary glands, all this stuff in here, it works together, okay? And when we introduce, and when we don't learn about none of this, now all the fluids, all this pharmaceutical, and what it is, it's the pills. And it's the pills. Those pills right there destroy those substances. See, and the modified substances do the same thing. Alcohol kills the battery that's within us. Because see, as they're coming back up, when we're 12, and this is real stuff. But see, when it comes back up the spinal column, it's the pingala and the ida nerve. And the sacral plexus is a thick oil because it's sitting there working, pumping. And the solar plexus is a thinner oil. And so as it comes up, it's going to cross right there at the neck and Skull City and Golgotha. It's going to cross there and go into the cerebellum and then go into the optic thalamus before it goes back through its process. But as it crosses, it's going to cross like so. Currency. So we have currency instead of knowing the real currency, because electricity comes from us, the design that you have in your house. If you're an electrician, you should get into some of this shit and it'll blow your mind. How everything that we have electric comes from us. And as it's coming across, it creates a fire within our third eye. And it's the truth too. But let's get back over here. And here it's when we look at a visual of the brain, okay? And now we'll say that we're taking, 6 pills a day. 6 pills a day. Whatever it is. And it could be cured with plants. And it could. Plants, medicine, all that stuff. And it could be free. Because, see, the plants are electric and magnetic. Hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. Trees. Anything that comes from there, the same properties. If we consume electricity, plants, fruits, vegetables, then the more these ida and the pingala, the more the fluid within us, the more it's going to be positive. It's going to be not corrupted through the pharmakia, which is sorcery, the modified substances, which is, it's everything from the sodas, which are horrible, to the high octane coffees. Some of them coffees, man, can get, because I drink, let me give me a coffee, cream and sugar, it's it, go burn it off. But now it's the cold coffees, the children's drinking it, and then the alcohol, it's pushed. I don't care if you drink, I respect you, but respect me on exposing this, because see, alcohol is glorified, and the more alcohol is non-alkaline. That's non-alkaline, alcohol. Modified foods, non-alkaline. Pharmakia, non-alkaline. Plants, alkaline. Cannabis, alkaline. Hemp, seeds. And seeing it talks about in scripture, it talks about seeds, and there's 4 different books it talks about. He gave us plants for everything. Because in this world, what we have is, it's been a lie to get us away from all this for a long time. But in this world right here, it's you go to here, doctors who make money, which money's not even a real thing. That's a whole nother video. Doctors are actually supposed to teach. That's where that actually goes back to, doctor, to teach. To teach. to teach on how to not die and to not get sick. Teach us about this, but see, the doctors now don't know about it. I don't understand how they can't know about this, how they can just keep that shit hidden. Because this is actually in Scripture. This is actually in Scripture. And it is. And that's a whole nother video by itself. But see, the more that the more we consume, these are just three, examples. Because what has happened is they have what? Normalized it. This is normal. This is commercial. And then what are we all doing? TV. See, when you combine all this, when you combine the alcohol, when you combine the modified substances throughout the day, because we get in a bad habit of snacking, that keeps you away from this. That's why all the chips are made and the little Debbies and them and say, yeah, we're for Jesus, and the Bud Lights and them saying, we're for Jesus. And the ones at the top know what I'm talking about. And I'm trying to open your third eye up, which it's your optic thalamus. This all goes into your optic thalamus. And if you've been overweight, if you've had a drug and alcohol problem, if you've came through something that has been life-changing, then you have triggered out of this programming, out of this, you have somehow ignited those fluids within you. And you've always probably wondered, like, man, I don't know what I did, or you did it and now you're bad again and you don't know how you did it before. Well, this is what you did. You unlocked it. And you don't know what you did. But you have to understand something. The alkaline and alkaline, however you want to pronounce it, this is in all the shit that's from the earth. And that cures. See, when we know about this, then we're going to get into the cures. Cure everything. You'll never be sick. That's my whole point. You'll never get sick. But we've been forced into, candy sales young and, go out, splurge, and, grace. False prophets cannot exist under grace. Okay? It's insane. And I'm not dogging you. That's a whole nother video too. So we're going to pull a lot out of just this video into some more. But I want you to see a visual of this. Because, dude, this is real stuff, man. This is real stuff. And if you're religious, in Scripture it says God created the two luminaries, day and night. Okay? We don't worship those, but we give thanks for a symbol of God's creation instead of this. That is so crazy. But you have this, the cerebellum's right here underneath it, and then you've got the cerebrum. And this is where we put our thinking and all this and our ideals or whatever, and then we judge it up here. But down here's our solar plexus. Down here's the sacral plexus. Right here, sacral, and then solar, which is your vertebrae. And when we actually look at the vertebrae right here, you see it? This one's more a little upright. Okay, this used to be, truthfully, humanity. And now what's happened is this, we're slowly being slumped over. So now instead of being like that, now we're getting like this. You see what I mean? And when the vertebrae is out of whack, then these will not function properly. So the more that they push these in children's hand, push them everywhere, push everything. Everything, you should make sense a little bit now to some of you, and you'll be like, damn, everything that they put out there, everything in the gas stations, look at it. It's not good, none of it. It blocks this fluid within us. And in the Scripture it says the land of milk and honey, because yellow, it's the honey like substance, and then white milk-like substance, the land of milk and honey, because you have cut the carnal nature, you've cut the obsessions, what was killing you, and you ignited it, and you're like, and then you lost it some because nobody understood what the fuck you did, because nobody knows about it, and then we collapse still, over and over, because nobody understands. They don't want to understand because they've been living in a system that is based off the destruction of us. We should know all this. We should know every bit of it. The gray matter, the pia matter it talks about right here in the spinal column, pia matter, well, we've got that in the brain. It's in the claustrum. And the more that we are under the influence of these, the more that pia matter, that gray matter is diluted. And the more that our brain cannot think. And the more that we allow what goes into our eyeballs, the narrow is the gate, TV, the more we let TV in there, and the more that we let the news, which is a lie. The news is, look, north, east, west, and south. North, east, west, and south. Because it's this right here. Because it's the zodiac. That's the real news. You'll see that on the front of churches. Right here's spring. Right there's summer, fall, winter. There's 6 a.m., there's noon, 6 p.m., and then 12 midnight. There's a lot in that, and then it's also, too, the constellations. Okay? And this is also, too, the growing and harvesting months, summer. This is the quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants. If you're in AA or Celebrate Recovery and you get chips and y'all do 4 a year, come on up here and we're going to start you out. If you hold that for 90 days, we're going to give you a 90-day chip. And this is 3, 30, 60, 90. So, and then you hold that for 90 more days, we're going to give you a 180-day chip, 6-month chip. Come down here, we're going to give you a 9-month. That's hard to get. Come on up here, and if you get to a 4 year, we're going to give you a birthday. And it's all one. And remember, the zodiac is it's a circle of animals. And where do we go? We go to a circus. Circus comes from circle, comes from Circe. You can Google that. And then you go to the what? To the zoo. You go to the zodiac. You just take zodiac or zoo. That's what it is. It's tied into one, because everything that's going over us every night, there's a vault. The old safes, your safes come from that. It comes from that. And it's all this stuff that it's been hidden for a very long time. And if you try to look for some of this shit, you might find some stuff you didn't want to find. But this is facts. This is reality. This is everything you need to know. We start, and if you can admit, like, wow, that's crazy. But you start trying to deny some of this and get onto some plants and oils and stuff. Christ always talking about oil. So go get some oil and seeds. All these seeds, everything natural that goes within us, it gives us honey and cinnamon and lemon juice, natural, heat it up every night. You'll never get sick with shit. The only reason you're sick is because this is gone. This is God, this is God, this, and this is God. And we can't leave this one out. Careers. Because who did all this? Who did it? The Holy Roman Empire. That's who did it. It's them. You need to look at the fascia in our Senate. In the Senate building. Is that it? Look at the fascia. The fascia, look. The fascia is a bundle. It's a little bundle of sticks. All right, and then it's got whatever around it. Then it's got an axe head. Okay, all these little sticks in here represent more families together, not countries, because they own them. They own everything. It means that families are together. One stick can break, but when you put a lot of sticks together, like families, and then you tighten that shit up, like the Roman Empire has done, and then you put an axe head on it, and when you're looking at George Bush, Obama, and all them doing their speeches, that's on both sides of them. That's on both sides of them, and that is fascism. That is communism. That is fucking Nazism. That is everything, because it means we'll cut your nuts off. Fuck you. Have a nice day. Because in Rome, they had a law to the people that if you were dumb enough to believe a lie, then you could still lie to the people and capitalize off of them. Well, it's still the shit. Everything in the capital here is Roman. It's all Rome. It's all ancient deities of old, and if you're in a secret little club, they ain't giving you no heads up, man. They created all of it. All of it. Jesuits. Go look this up. Go look into that. 201 Jesuits. You know, an Event 201. You need to check that out. Event 201 and then the 201 Jesuits. And you'll be like, wonder why that's called Event 201 and the story of the 201 Jesuits. Well, because the Jesuits rule the world. They rule everything. There's a creation of the Roman Empire, and then they say, what family? I can't remember. Dude, it's like this. Look, what's his name in Godfather? Corleone, Core meaning core, Leo, Leon, Tiger, Leo, you know, lion, you get it? Lion, core, the core, lion, Leo. It's all about the constellations, because the gangster shit was created by the Jesuits, by them. Dude, they have sent people out all over the earth, and they've destroyed all the observatories to where we could even figure out what the hell's going on. They have went out and destroyed millions and millions of people have been massacred in order to get to here to where we are. And they're almost there, because if I can find this, if what can come through me, Christ, because it's in us, it's in Scripture. And you don't have to be perfect, but if this can come through me and discover this and try to say, look, you need to check this out, then their plan is not foolproof yet. It's not foolproof, and the only way they're going to get it foolproof is to keep all the ones that's slaves, the slave mindsets, because money's not real. Money's not real. It's not real. The only reason money is real is because, I mean, seriously, when money's around, what do you have to go to buy gold? Before money, you got to have what? Credit. You got to have credit. So who creates credit? The banks. And who's the banks? It's Saturn, the god of banking and law. In the courtroom, you've got 12 jurors. You've got 12 jurors, 12 houses of the zodiac. He sits on a bench, which is another word. It's Latin for bank. So bench and bank. So he's sitting on top of the bank in the courtroom with the 12 jurors, 6 foot up looking down, because we're dead. We're summoned. We're summoned to court because we're dead. The only reason you're summoned is because you're dead, and if you hire a lawyer, it means you're incompetent. Although God created us in the image of God, so that means God created us incompetent? No, well, you broke the law. But who created the law? Saturn. Saturn did. It's the god of law and banking. Because, you know, on both sides of, what's on both sides of rivers? Banks. Because the banks control the flow of the currency. Sort of like this. The flow of the currency. All right? You can get liquidated assets and all that shit, it's all water terms because it's under maritime admiralty law. Look into that. Maritime admiralty law. Look into it. Maritime admiralty law. And under that, they made this term up. Marijuana. Mary. Water. Marijuana produced what? Prisons. Because they got rid of this and brought in the what? The pills. And then that's when the what came. That's when the deaths came. A lot of deaths because of Saturn. Okay? Now, that was a better video. I sent a video to a guy and he goes, don't post that. I said, why? He said, because he said, you're starting to let your emotions get the best of you. And I said, all right, I'll do another one. You know, because I'm trying to get better, but it's just, it's insane because these people have taken literally everything. And you know, it's, when you create the money though, you also do this, is you create, it depends, they own all the gadgets. It doesn't matter what you invent or buy it out. But when you control how much, depends on how much currency, physical money is out here, is going to determine how much something is. And the more currency that's out here, the more these will be, the more they're going to spend. And remember, under the Vatican, the Holy Roman Empire, remember, we've got to go get a license. Damn it. You've got to go get business licenses. Business license. You've got to go, wait a minute. You've got to get all these licenses to be a priest, drivers, you know, divorce. You got to go get, why can't I spell tonight? I'm tired. Look, but my whole point is, before we go, it's money. It's all about money. And we're in a free country. We shouldn't have to, we're already taxed. You're already taxed a shitload. Now you got to go buy licenses for everything, which is taxed on top of that shit. And then you get fines. You get fined, you know, divorce, driver's license, businesses. You could, you know, get fines, penalties. You know, yeah, Matt, because that's the law. Because why? Because of this shit right here. Because of Saturn. That right there. It's what it is. And we're fixing to go through some shit and start eating better, and you'll think better. You know, but this is what it is. All this shit right here, money, law, Saturn. It's what it is. And they've taken it from us. All right, I love you. Oh, God. Oh, yeah.